An ambassador, I told you I was going to dig a little deeper into parts of number one. An ambassador must represent the king's character. I put this passage from 2 Corinthians, those first 2 and 3 verses here, because I've always loved this phrase. In fact, somewhere in my files, I've got a sermon I wrote on just the phrase one time. But Paul writes, and he's writing to the church there at Corinth. He says, "You are our letter." He's talking about a letter of recommendation, a letter stating his bona fides. He says, "You are our letter, written in our hearts, known and read by all men." Ooh, that's a big one to take in, isn't it? Known and read by all men. Did you know that a lot of people that are in your circle of influence, people that you come in contact with on a, did you know a lot of them will never read a Bible, but they're reading you? And the character you display is the character that they see in God. That ought to be a scary thought. That ought to help us to be sober-minded and to recognize what our own role really is. He says in verse 3 there, "Being manifested that you are a letter of Christ, cared for by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets of human hearts." Paul is saying, I taught you to be like Christ. I taught you to be like Jesus. And the way you act, you're like an open letter to the public. This is what the gospel is. This is the character of my King, of my Lord. I don't think that God feels that he sees us being consistent enough in representing his character. And I know consistency is the challenge there. Yeah. But that is why it's important. People are going to notice how you treat your family, how you respond when someone mistreats you, whether or not you keep your promises, how you talk about others. I thought about underlining that one, but I didn't really want to detract from the rest of the list here. But just in my personal life, the number one thing that has consistently happened is hearing people that you think of as strong disciples and the way they talk about other people. Make sure we're talking about other people the way God talks about other people, because they're listening at how you speak about others. Whether we show compassion to those who are hurting, nobody cares what you know if they don't know that you care, right? And how we behave when life becomes difficult.